Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, man, shout out to y'all for messing with the Flick Chat, man. It's been an amazing season as far as Flick Chat goes. Listen, man, they one of my sponsors, man, one of my favorite sponsors, man, and you know what I'm saying, they rant and rave about how y'all go so hard in this chat. We got a winner from last week's Flick Chat. Hit me up so you can get that bread if you came in first. I came in third last week. I was close. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, next week I probably double the bread up. You know what I'm saying? It's the last week of the season. We're going to finish it strong as far as football and Eagles content goes for live games. But we will continue the partnership with Flick Chat throughout the off season to my knowledge. If anything else changes with that, I will let you guys know. Shout out to the print champs. We got something special. We got an exclusive coming out January 2021. I'm not going to show no samples and nothing like that, but you know what I'm saying, we got some joggers, we got some hoodies, we got some embroidery stitch stuff, signed, sealed, and delivered, man. January 2021, you know what I mean? Keep an eye out for that, man. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be pre-orders dropping pretty soon as I get some samples and kick that out to y'all. Shout out to the Loot Mogul. Get with the Loot Mogul, man. Loot Mogul is always a way to where you could win something and be a part of something, man. So I'm going to put the link in the description to all three of the sponsors, man. Make sure you get with them immediately. This video, a lot of people probably not gonna like. They're not gonna like it because a lot of people in our fan base been, you know, placing blame on whoever they feel they should be placing blame on. This has always been my stance on this. Now a lot of people are seeing it, but this has always been my stance that this is a bad football team. Everybody and their mom wanted to blame Carson Wentz. Everybody wanted to blame Carson Wentz. Hurts had a quarter of football. 4 games. 4 games, and something should be done different when you got a dual threat. In those 4 games, we struggled in halftime. Well, we ain't going to talk about the 4th game. First of all, let's talk about the 4th game against the Washington football team, who just released Dwayne Haskins. Now, I don't care about Dwayne Haskins being released. All I know is that right now, the way I feel right now, there's no point in winning this game. Hurts shouldn't suit up, or Carson Wentz shouldn't suit up. You better go sign you somebody off the streets if you're not going to play Sudfeld, and put in a quarterback who don't even need. Put in somebody. It don't matter. I don't want to see Carson Wentz or Hurts on the field. I'll tell you why. Because this organization doesn't even know who they're going to go with in the future. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback, but it's going to be one of those 2 dudes. Why risk him in a meaningless game? Seriously. Now, I hate everybody almost equally as far as the NFC East goes. So with that being said, of course I'd rather have Washington win the division instead of the Dallas Cowboys. Of course I would. But this means nothing. The draft pick is there. Go ahead and take your draft pick and bow out gracefully. We got a lot of stuff. Listen, and this Jamar Chase thing, I got another news flash for a lot of people. Listen, as long as Howie Roseman is there, you can't expect you can't expect Smith or Chase. You can't expect either one of them. I'm gonna tell you why. We drafted 3 wide receivers last year. Are we really in a position to take another wide receiver with the first overall pick with this many holes? Rager don't look like much to me. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Rager don't look like much to me. But are we really in this much of a position? Are we in a position to do these type of things right now, talking about grabbing a wide receiver? No, you're not in a position to do it. In my opinion, with the first pick, the Philadelphia Eagles might need to go offensive line. We got an aging offensive line. We got running backs who are decent, who are fair, I guess, when we want to use them. But wide receiver, no. You can't go wide receiver. You have to hire somebody to do the proper job of developing wide receivers. That's something the Philadelphia Eagles don't have. But would I pass up on Jamar Chase? No. I just know my organization, and I really don't think that they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to go after anybody. I don't think they're going to go after a wide receiver. I think they're too afraid to do it, which only explains why we haven't done it in the past. I think they're just afraid to be great. Period. Doug Peterson cost us so many games this year, and Carson Wentz was to blame for it. It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. The Philadelphia Eagles offense is the worst offense in the league, in my opinion. And the Philadelphia Eagles are, quite frankly, the worst team in the league. Think about it like this. We have not scored 30 points in any game this season. Whose fault is that? Why do we hire all these guys in the offseason? What is their role? What's their role? Whose job is it to go out there and schematically build around the weaknesses of the opponents week in and week out? Who's doing it? Nobody. Nobody's doing it. We have not been able to expose not one team in 17, 16 tries. Hard to watch. Hard to watch. And then you got a guy calling plays who can't manufacture a 30-point game now. First, it was Carson Wentz's fault. Jalen Hurts come in. They get some tape on him, and you see the same thing now. Not an indictment on Hurts or Wentz. Not at all. Not an indictment on either quarterback, but you're seeing the same thing. Seeing the same thing. How can you be happy that he put up stats, but you still lost? The stats were beautiful. 300-something passing yards, ran, scrambled. It looked exciting. We put up 17 points, bruh. How many times we put up 17 this season? We put up 17 points. Same old story. Wide receivers can't get separation. Same old story. We put up 17 against a Dallas Cowboys team who is historically garbage. As far as defense goes, at least. You gotta be kidding me, bruh. Not one 30-point game this season. This season has been one of the worst seasons in Philadelphia Eagles franchise history. Here's another fun fact for Mr. Jim Schwartz, because you're not totally off the hook. 2 interceptions by a cornerback in the last 2 seasons. Before Slade just got that interception, Sidney Jones was the last cornerback to get an interception for the Philadelphia Eagles. The scheme, I've been talking about the scheme for 2 years. The scheme is not designed for cornerbacks to get turnovers. The team is poorly coached. The team is poorly structured. The team has no discipline. And y'all really want us to go out there and cheer and root for that slop week in and week out? Y'all want us to be excited? You want us to be excited about that though, right? This organization has given us nothing to cheer for. Prove they can't develop wide receivers. Don't believe in getting effective linebackers. They're stubborn. They think that they could win their way. They look at all the other teams that put so much emphasis on the defensive line. Washington, the Eagles, I think the Bills. Let's talk about the Washington and Eagles. Both teams their strong suit is defensive line trash. Both teams trash. Listen, man. This is what the Philadelphia Eagles need to do this offseason. They need to use this first-round pick wisely. I'm not going to dive into what they should do or who they should grab with this first-round pick. I'm not going to dive into that right now. They need to use this first-round pick wisely. That's number one. Number two, they need to decide which quarterback they're going to keep. Because the Washington football team will take either one of these quarterbacks from us. These quarterbacks on our roster, one of them has a suitor waiting in the wings. They need to fire Doug Peterson. He can't call plays. Listen, people, for the people that's saying this, I would keep Doug Peterson as long as he's not calling plays. I don't want him in the building. I don't want Doug and Howie in the building. There's no keeping them. After what you saw last night, you can't possibly believe that Doug Peterson as a head coach and not calling plays is still going to be the answer. I don't want to see his face no more, bro. He's too emotional. Y'all think he's daring. Y'all think he's dangerous when he's going for these fourth downs. These aren't regular football plays. It's emotion taking over a man who loses sight of how to win a football game. Head coach is not supposed to think off emotion. They're supposed to think off the best interest of the team. Too many times this season I've seen Doug go for fourth down, not thinking of the best interest of the team. Too many times this season I've seen Doug Peterson abandon the run, leaving his quarterback out there to dry. 2 quarterbacks now. I told y'all that Doug Peterson is potentially going to ruin 2 quarterbacks in one season. If Hurts go 1-4, which he most likely will, was it worth it? Let me know what you think in the comments.